Okay, cool. All right, Rory and Liam, thanks for coming on my show today. Thanks for hitting me up.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah, buddy.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's when you hit me up, I was like, oh, cool. So I checked you guys out, and yeah, I was like, cool. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a good chat. So haven't had like a musical. How many people in your band? 3, 4.
There's 4 of us.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
is that a quartet?
I guess that's
Is
what
that-
you would call it.
It is, eh? Even
Yeah.
though is it? Because what's when like all the different voices are singing? It's like oh what?
An a cappella group?
Yeah. Right, that's it. Right. So you're not
Barbershop quartet.
Yeah, barbershop quartet.
there
Right.
you
Yeah.
go.
Okay. Yeah. You guys ever played in a barbershop before?
Not yet.
Not yet. Nice. Coming
kind
soon.
of.
There's probably a couple in town that would take it for sure. Well, yeah. Well, thanks for coming on. It's awesome. Yeah. So you guys are in Introduce Wolves, the band,
Yeah, that's correct.
and you're the singer, guitar.
Sure. Yeah,
And
yeah.
what do you do?
I play the bass guitar.
Oh,
I do
nice.
a little bit of bad singing.
Okay, sweet. So backup vocals. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, we're just gonna chat with you guys today. Kind of meander through what your band's about, kind of your history, what you guys are doing. And if I miss something, yeah, just remind me, and we'll keep going from there. So, you guys are obviously both not from Whistler originally, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah. So what brought how you guys been in town for a while? Like, what brought you guys to town here? We'll start there, I guess.
Yeah, good place to start. Somewhere near the start, I guess.
Yeah.
So we both moved out here 7 years ago.
Are you guys friends before you got here?
No.
Okay. So I'll get into that too for sure.
Yeah, the interesting thing is, so we both moved out at around the same time. I actually had a friend, another friend move out with me at the same time who I knew before I came here.
Yeah.
And him and Liam lived together.
Okay. Cool.
And that's how we met.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. And then
Were you a musician before you guys met? Did you play or did you just? Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. Like okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
And then the other guys in your band, are they just guys you met in town here or?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. We picked them up along the way.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Were you guys playing like gigs before you guys met? Or were you just kind of like living room musicians, or what were you like?
So
Kind of how'd the band start, basically?
So yeah, how everything started in Whistler. Well, yeah. When I first moved out here, I'd taken like a little bit of a break for like 3 or 4 years from playing music.
Okay.
I was playing a little bit. Like I was in France and New Zealand and traveling around a bit.
Yeah.
But I took a break because I'd been doing a lot of work in the past, which I'm sure we'll get to at some point.
Yeah.
And pretty much as soon as I got here, I bought a guitar and played it a bit.
Right.
Wasn't really taking it super seriously. When we first met, we had no idea that we both played music.
Oh, cool.
That
Sweet.
didn't come up for a while, actually.
Yeah.
Um,
Were you ever like a player on the campfire kind of guy? Where I was like, here we go again. So playing music around the campfire.
a little bit, and
Yeah.
still a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Campfire, sing songs around the piano,
Yeah.
all that. Yeah.
When was it, so then you guys just like kind of just through friends you met all your rest of your bandmates too? Or did were you on an active search for like a drummer?
It was definitely an active search for
Yeah.
the guys we have now.
Yeah, it's tough to find.
Yeah, it took a while actually. So basically, me and Liam started playing music together late 2017.
Okay, cool. Oh, for a while ago.
So yeah, so that was maybe like a year after we met.
Yeah.
And at first there wasn't really any. I mean, there was a little bit of a vision, but it wasn't like, oh, we're gonna start a band and we're gonna play all these gigs. It was just like, oh, it's getting dark out. What should we do in the evenings?
Yeah.
And then Liam would come over and with his bass and we'd
Right.
play along to backing tracks. Yeah. We didn't. I don't think either of us had an amplifier between us. Like we're living in Whistler. Like,
Yeah,
we
sure.
don't have that stuff.
Well, it's hard to find
music.
music gear up here too, right? Like if you need to buy something, you're going to Vancouver.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Or like
yeah.
online, something used, I
Yeah,
guess, right?
I find most of my gear, it's kind of been like impulse purchases.
Right.
Just because equipment doesn't come up that often. When it does, I'm like, oh my God, I need that right now. Liam thinks his decisions through a little more and then looks for gear, I would say.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Are you guys like music nerds? Like, are you like trained musicians? Did you learn on your own? Did you go to school for it or something? Or
Yes.
You did? Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah. I'm definitely a bit of a music nerd.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, just a bit. I studied music at university, so I did
cool.
a 3-year bachelor's degree.
Yeah. What, it's like music theory or something, or is it like...
Yeah, so that's part of it. The course I did was called Popular Music and Recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you learn like a little bit everything, like recording studio stuff and everything like that?
Exactly,
oh,
yeah.
Cool. Okay.
It was... Oh my God, what did we do now? It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Music theory, like...
Can you keep closer?
Oral training. Yeah. God, what else do we do? Like performance, recording, composition, arranging, musical direction, music business. In 3 years, you can cover a lot. So.
When you say music performance, they teach you how to like be on stage and be like a rock star.
I mean,
is it like presence type thing?
A little bit.
Yeah, I guess you have to. Right?
I mean, music performance is. I mean, I would say anything from actually just how well you play your instrument,
sure,
how proficient you are at your instrument. To
yeah.
I mean, like a big part of it is. Yes, stage presence is a part of your performance for sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that my mark on my degree was based on that. But
did you get a good mark? Did you just skim by?
I got a pretty good mark.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. I got a 2-1.
Oh, nice.
If you're interested.
Yeah.
Which was what I wanted.
Yeah.
First for nerds.
Yeah. So then, Liam, how about you? Like, what's your get the mic? What's your like background? Where did you start? Just like.
So I'm kind of the complete opposite of Rory. I have no real training. I was in a school band in primary school, elementary school, playing the trumpet.
Right. Cool. I played the trumpet too when I was in school. Yeah.
All the cool kids did.
Yeah. Some did. Yeah. I don't know if I'm cool or not, but yeah.
Then kind of as I hit my teens, decided I wanted to be cool and play guitar. So Mum bought me an acoustic guitar. I think actually she just had an old one that I was playing around on, and then it's kind of like, I think bass guitar is the one for me, not knowing anything about the instrument. I didn't even know how many strings it had at the time.
Yeah,
it's just like, I want to play bass. And so Mum bought me a bass guitar and a little practice amp, and I was hooked and kind of just self-taught since then. Like, did a little bit of music theory, but not that much. I can read tab with the best of them, like guitar tab, but I can't read like
classic
actual music notes like at all.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Fucking tough, man.
Man,
I tried.
there was a time, like, okay, sorry, I skipped over the fact that I had 6 years of piano lessons.
Well, isn't piano like, I took piano lessons as a kid too. Obviously didn't do shit, but isn't piano and guitar, like, isn't it the same music? Isn't it the same to read it? Same notes? Like,
yeah, similar. It's, I think, like, it's in the same scale kind of thing. Like, it's not in the... Yeah.
Can you?
I'll put the
put the theory guy back on. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So piano is written out in treble and bass clef.
Okay.
So you'll have 2 staves. They're called.
Yeah. Sure. Totally.
So that's your right hand and left hand.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Guitar music, generally. I mean, as well as tab, which some of
tab's like this. I mean, I think everyone learns tab when you learn music.
Totally.
Right? I mean, it's like. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's like tab and then treble clef.
Okay.
I find that for most guitarists, tab is probably fine, and it helps you. I don't know. I think it helps you develop your ear for music a bit more because
piano
you're not
does.
So playing guitar and reading tabs.
Yeah.
Because yes, you're not reading notes and you're not understanding the theory behind it, but I find like you're not reading rhythm the same way you do when you're reading, notation, like piano music.
Yeah, because you just like if you're reading tab, you kind of have to know the rhythm already, right?
You have to figure it out yourself. Yeah, exactly.
Like you have to go ear to music and then ear to paper, kind of thing, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
I mean, reading rhythm is.
I don't even know what that means.
Useful.
Really. Sounds like it's tough.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of tough. I mean, I don't know. Once you crack it, it's kind of straightforward. But
so when it comes to writing music for the band you're in now, are the other guys trained too? Are they just kind of like pick up music instruments? Are they like a drummer? They just learn on its own?
Question.
You don't know.
I mean, Sean's played music since he was really young. He's only 22, but he's the drummer, but he's also like a really great guitarist too.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And plays in another band. Well, plays in 2 other bands. Yeah.
It's kind of standard for Whistler. I know a couple of guys like Mark Bannock and stuff. Those guys play like in just their drummers. It's hard to find them, so they play in a bunch of different bands.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, he also writes music for one of his other bands and is really into that. So he was learning from a young age. I'm not sure exactly what his background is. But he's talking about studying music. He's got a long career ahead of him, I think.
So who writes when it comes to your band? Like, is it like collaborative, or do you like sit down and write lyrics and stuff? How does that kind of come together for Introduce Wolves?
So with the
you can be diplomatic if you need to be. Like it's just me. Don't worry, guys. Everybody sucks.
Yeah, it's 100% me. So with the work we've released so far, I've written most of the material.
Okay.
I kind of feel the further along with it we go, people like everyone else is kind of having their say a little more.
Yeah.
Which is great. I mean, one of the biggest things on this new recording is that I'm not actually recording that much guitar compared to the last two.
Okay.
I recorded all the guitar.
Right.
Like Phil is doing more than half of the work, I think, on guitar.
So you're just on vocals then at that point?
I still play guitar and still record
Yeah.
the stuff that I play live, but
Right.
In the past I recorded everything guitar-wise. Go on.
If I may.
Yeah, jump in here, dude.
So the way from...
Sorry about this whole... This is our sick mic setup here at Casual Air. It's fucking...
If it works, it works.
Yeah, we're rolling the ghetto here.
So, yeah, Rory's hit the nail on the head saying that like everything that we've released so far is pretty much all written by him, but everyone has their own parts. No one is kind of playing a part that Rory's written for them. It's more like, this is what I think should happen, or like he's
so
like
it's
a
pretty
general
collaborative?
gist. Yeah, it is. It is very collaborative. No
That's
one's
good.
like writing parts that are written for them. It's kind of like like all of like my bass lines, for example, are kind of like maybe like he'll come with a bit of an idea, or like he'll play the guitar part and I'll just like play the root notes. And
I guess it's pretty normal. Like, I mean, I can't imagine he's writing. I mean, the bass person brings their music, brings the bass line. Like
totally, yeah,
drummer,
and drums and everything
for sure.
as well. Like everyone's
Yeah.
proficient enough at their instrument that
That's
they're
cool.
like they're not just session musicians.
Right.
If that
That's
makes
cool.
sense.
And if you can't read music, I mean, you got to learn anyway, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Sorry, I'm just joking around.
No.
Yeah, because I guess like in this town you have musicians, but there's there's quite a few bands in town that play around, and not like so.
Heaps.
Yeah, there's guys who like play in a band, but also like their own gigs. Like you do solo stuff too, right? Or used to, I guess.
Yeah, I do occasionally play solo shows.
Yeah,
I
sure.
I do. Yeah.
So wait, do you guys have other jobs?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, sweet.
Oh yeah.
But it's good like kind of side income too if you can play like gigs here and there, right? Like,
You would think so.
Right.
I mean, I think we blow all our money on recording and gas to get to the city for various
I
things.
want to ask you about that. So I guess like so do you have? What do you guys?
I literally was saying to a friend that I ran into on the street today that the band is not a money-making venture; it's a money-spending venture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of like this. It doesn't make money, or I don't spend money. So I just,
Yeah.
it's even trade.
I think we break even. Just better than a lot of businesses.
How many gigs do you guys play? Between, I guess probably most of your gigs are in Whistler, I guess, right? Or do you travel like Squamish type stuff?
We play in Vancouver quite a lot.
Oh, yeah,
and
cool.
I would say
bigger market there too for like audience stuff too.
it is. I mean, it's kind of tough because we don't personally know too many people down there, so
Right.
it really is like, oh my god, like who's going to be here?
Right.
Let's like hope that the other bands bring some people.
Right.
I would say with the full band shows we do, which is where our hearts and minds are at.
Mm-hmm.
We probably do just as many Vancouver shows as we do Whistler ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like acoustic shows and
Right.
parties, pubs, things like that, we'll play in Whistler.
Do you guys have you played like house parties like in like basements and stuff and like just like
Have we? Warehouse party?
I've-
Yeah.
warehouse parties? Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
What's the best venue in town to play at?
The best venue in town.
Yeah, you don't have to say it if you don't want to get burned or whatever. But is there like, I mean, obviously there's better venues like than others.
Tapley's was great.
It's always packed in there too, right? You can just
Yeah. When we
Yeah.
used to play that was always a good time.
You don't play there anymore.
We haven't played there for over a year.
Okay, right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just us.
They just every time I walk by there, it's jammed, band or not. Like it just seems like
it's
fucking packed.
it's
all the time.
packed.
I haven't been there in a long time.
People love going to the pub apparently. Yeah, who knew?
Yeah, everyone gets hammered.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
funny. It's like whenever, well, obviously it's like a sports bar. And there was a hockey game or a soccer game or something like that. People just go and show up, right?
It's kind of everything. Yeah.
And then you guys have like your own, like when you go to a venue, you have all your own shit, like all your own equipment, or do they provide stuff? That's where your money goes, I guess, like speakers and PAs and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, when we've played gigs in Whistler,
Yeah.
I find that a lot of, well, almost every venue doesn't have a PA system.
Right.
Which is really unusual to me. Everywhere else I've ever played, that's not been something you have to provide.
Right.
And yeah, we bought a mixer a while ago.
Yeah.
We don't own speakers. We generally rent them.
Right.
I know that in the past, when we were playing at Tapley's, we were blowing half of the money we were making on the night on rentals.
Right. There's only a few spots in town you can rent from, right? Or if you have to go to Vancouver, like...
We rent our stuff from XLAV.
Is that around here then?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Okay, cool, sweet. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. And it's all great equipment.
Shout out to Andy.
Yeah.
Get the
So then, like, sometimes you go to like a bar and like music just fucking cranking loud, right?
Oh yeah.
And you're like, because the drummer's like either like just trying to show off. Usually, it's the drummer trying to show off. It's like crazy.
Absolutely.
Loud, right? I'm not saying your drummer shows off because I'm not. Maybe he does. I don't know. But I find like some venues are probably tough to play in. Like they want you to come play, and you're like, well, it's pretty small. Like I mean, I saw. I think you guys are doing it at the Crystal Lounge.
Yeah.
And that must be like a fucking like just an echo, just like bah inside. Like.
Yeah. I would say the first. So Sean, who plays drum with us at the moment, I would say, yeah, if you can ever find a drummer that also plays guitar or sings or something in another band and understands that dynamic, because they're the person at the front sometimes, really helps them get it.
Yeah, because because you gotta if you're a hard smashing band and you're drumming, you're playing heavy music or something like that, and you gotta tone it down a bit. And you don't have that. It's like
absolutely.
It's like you can't play to the way you want to play because you don't blow out the whole room.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's
it's probably why most gigs are a lot of like solo guitar. Like probably hard to get a band into a gig.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's always been our struggle in Whistler. There are plenty of venues we've been able to play, but our vision was always to play these, big shows where we could play music as loud as we want to.
Yeah.
And I think we're about to crack it.
Cool. Sweet.
Yeah. Playing in pubs is definitely hard. I mean, when we play at RMU.
That's I think a cool little stage there, but it's still like a small.
Yeah,
and not knocking it all. It's a great place, but like it's pretty small.
It's a great room. Yeah. But yeah, it's acoustic guitars and drum kit with cloths on all the toms.
Right. Tame it down a bit.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, how do you guys find rehearsal space in town?
Oh my god.
You guys you getting kicked out anywhere? You getting yelled at or stuff or what? Like you get.
I actually don't think we've ever been yelled at.
Like he's like
Not really.
Yeah. Not in Whistler.
Right. Do you guys have do you have a space you go to, or is it like houses, apartments, like your garage? Like
currently my garage. Yeah.
Oh, sweet, nice.
And we play. So Sean brings his electric kit over, so
Yeah.
it's not super loud.
Right.
And we play through our guitar amps.
Right.
Weirdly, it's quiet in the rest of the house. No one
Right.
can even hear it.
Well, drums are probably the biggest thing. If you have an electric
Yeah.
kit, you can tame that down. My buddy's just got an
Yeah.
electric kit. It's pretty sweet. I think it's a Roland.
Yeah.
It's a dope kit. But yeah, you can. Other than like the clacking of like when you hit the hi hat or whatever, you can hear it a bit. But
Yeah.
other than that, you can kind of keep it.
Yeah.
Everyone has their headphones, and even with electric guitar and stuff too, right?
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
Yeah.
the biggest challenge really for us, because we practice there in the winter, is when it's like -20 outside and we're in the garage.
Right.
My housemates are kind enough to let us go in the living room a lot of the time.
Oh, sweet, nice, private show.
But honestly, like the garage is a little better, I think. When there's not loads of people around,
Right.
we don't feel like we're being watched.
Yeah.
The garage is great, but yeah, if it's -20 out, the living room is.
-20 sucks anytime, dude.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever tried to use your fingers when it's -20.
Yeah,
out.
I wonder that because you go to like shows and like sometimes it's cold. And you see like musicians and they come to Whistler, they play like the Olympic Plaza, whatever it is, right? It's cold out.
Yeah.
You see guys like on guitar and bass stuff. I mean, it's cold, and I'm even just like skiing. You just hard to hold a ski pole sometimes. Your hands are cold.
Exactly.
So like in the dexterity you need to work the fret, whatever you say.
Yeah. Work the fretboard.
Yeah, it must be tough to get like freezing hands.
100%.
And you can't fucking wear gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With like fingerless gloves maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's like it's probably one of the hardest things is finding places to practice for sure.
Yeah.
If you don't have that garage, like you're kind of like,
I would say,
or you're renting a space somewhere in Function, let's say, and that's probably going to be, then it's got money out of your pocket you got to put into, or have someone who lends you space. Yeah.
I think the key, the hack for this one is to get a job with a warehouse.
Yeah, right.
That isn't used in the evenings or something.
It's got to be something down there, I bet.
Yeah, so that's what we do in the summer. Like the place where I work in the winter, the owners generally let us use the warehouse all summer long.
Yeah.
And
nice big warehouse sound, tinny echo
really
feedback and everything.
sweet.
Yeah, sweet echo. Yeah,
it's perfect.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've practiced in containers, other people's living room, Kev's living room, Randy's.
And I guess like too, if you're like, do you guys play like I know when you write your own music originals, you're trying to get the crowd into it because they don't know your stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you guys have like go to like say covers you play to get the crowd going? Do you guys play covers at all or?
We play a lot of covers.
You do?
And
Okay,
and like over the years, we've done a lot of covers. In fact, so when me and Liam first started playing in a band, before Introduce Wolves was a thing, we were in a covers band. Basic. I mean, yeah, it was a covers band. Really, looking back now, and we played like a lot of alternative rock covers. Do we have any covers that really get the crowd going, Liam? I can think of one.
There's got to be some staples you use. You kind of like, 'cause you want it to be like a song that everyone might know, so you can get them in on it, right?
Yeah, we have a secret weapon for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Little Britney Spears cover always gets the people
No
going.
shit.
Yeah, hit
Nice.
me baby one more time.
Yeah. How are the vocals? You got it? You crush it or what?
Oh, he smashes it. It's so it's a cover, so it's not at all like the original,
Yeah, no,
except
for
for
sure.
the melody.
Yeah,
It's
cool.
like kind of a hard, fast punk rock version.
Okay. Cool.
It's good fun. It
Yeah.
just so happens to be one of the songs that we're recording in the studio currently.
Nice.
Alongside all of the originals that we've been working so hard on, we've got this one that we're just going to release as a little kind of treat for the fans.
Cool. And what do you guys like? You guys use like where do you, Spotify? Do you guys use SoundCloud stuff, or do you guys? It's pretty much like.
Are we on SoundCloud? I think.
Don't think SoundCloud.
So we're on on all of the major streaming services,
Okay.
Spotify, Apple Music, but we are also on Bandcamp. That's kind of it's like an online streaming service.
Oh, it's like I have a podcast like Podbean. I host my podcast and it pushes it to all those, pushes it to Spotify, pushes it to Apple iTunes.
Yeah,
It's
kind of
something
like
that.
like its own separate thing.
Yeah, it's like kind of super user friendly, like band friendly or musician friendly, I should say. So it kind of Spotify is pretty. It's a well-known fact that Spotify doesn't really pay the artist very much, whereas Bandcamp's like the majority goes to the artist.
Oh,
so you can sell albums, you can sell singles.
Oh, cool. Okay, sweet. That's cool. I didn't know that. That's great.
Bandcamp's awesome. So if you want to support us, head to Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. Is it
That's
like
the one.
Bandcamp / Introduce Wolves?
Bandcamp.com/Introduce Wolves.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
the one.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So on that note, we're talking about just kind of like getting your music out there. So you guys were doing some recording in Vancouver, and you're on your third EP right now. I saw online. Just in research. And have you recorded at the studio? I can't remember the name of the studio. I picked it up a while ago. Emily Ryan, you said, or someone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's it's
Shout out to Emily.
Yeah. So is that like at where is that studio in Gastown or something like that, or where is that?
It's in East Van. It's called Rain City Recorders.
Oh, cool.
Is the studio.
Sweet.
And we did drums in the main room there, which is kind of like the nice big studio.
Yeah.
And then
that must be cool. I mean, it's pretty sweet to go.
It's an amazing experience. Like when we recorded the last EP, that was my first time in a real studio ever.
Sweet.
I was like, oh, this is sick.
Yeah,
this like wall of amplifiers to choose from. I was like, holy shit.
And there's people there who are like who've experienced and they've recorded whoever they've recorded with before, and like and they kind of can give you feedback and like they're like do this and like make this pump this up and do that. And
Yeah, totally.
Like how big's the mixing board? Is it like?
Oh, it's huge. It's like as wide as this room.
How people? I don't understand. Like you see like behind the scenes like video stuff in the recording studio and they have producers back there and all the technicians back there doing stuff. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. You have to be like, it must take a long time to become a good producer or sound artist to be like in there, because there's like 500 different like
what do all the knobs do?
Yeah, like this thing. I use 4 knobs on this thing. It's only a fucking 4-track. So
what do the rest do? Like
I don't
know.
Knows. Yeah, it's crazy. So that's a cool experience though, because like
it's sick.
And then do you think that changes? Do they influence your recording in your style a bit when you're down there? Like, hey, do they give you more feedback than, or just kind of run on your own? Yeah, we'll do what you want, record it.
Yeah, a little bit for sure. There's a little bit of give and take. Like,
right.
It's even just any sort of like outside person's opinion is always a good thing to have. Like, because otherwise it's kind of like this 4-person echo chamber where like there's no like outside point of view coming in to say, hey, maybe like tweak this or like change this, and that's like super valuable. That's as valuable as the wizardry with the board for sure.
How do you guys take feedback? Can you take feedback?
I take feedback excellently.
We're going live. We're doing like this.
Rory, on the other hand, no, he's all right. He takes it with generally good manners.
I'd say that I'm my own biggest critic, really.
Right,
not in a bad, not like I put myself down or anything.
Yeah. It's good though.
But I feel like I'm really, really analytical, and I try to approach listening to my own music the way I listen to the music I like as a fan. So I'm like, when I've recorded stuff, like everything we're working on so far, I'll then like listen back to it, and I'll try and listen to it through the ears of somebody else. And, give myself feedback. Okay, is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? Does this stylistically work with what we're recording here? I would say, I think the interesting thing is with our recording process, at least so far, and I don't necessarily think like we'll work like this forever.
Right.
But we go into those studio sessions so prepared. Like, we know like almost like every note we're going to play before we get there.
Yeah.
I would love to go in there with way less of an idea as to what we're going to do. And we're like, okay, press record, let's figure it out,
I guess, too, there's like the idea of like, you hear a lot of bands talk about it, they walk in with nothing sometimes in the studio. I heard, like, I was listening to Anthony Kiedis on Rogan a while ago. He's talking about they go to a house, and like the vibe of the house gives them like this music and stuff, and you go in there and it can change. Like, albums sometimes are reflective of where they've recorded.
It's so funny that you bring that up, because as I'm literally reading a book about all Rick Rubin's work at the moment, and the chapter I read last night was about Stadium Arcadium, and like they went in with nothing,
right?
Like it was all just, and like and not only did they go in with nothing, like they didn't even like record separately, they just recorded as a band. They're just like, let's figure it out as we go,
right?
And then just every day they go back in and just record the songs again until they kind of, it was just what they wanted.
Well, because some bands that talk about like recording each track, and some record the room, record all at once. They play it kind of like a live set versus like lay the tracks. And I don't know what's better or worse, but like you have that feeling of when you go see a band live, it's like, oh, it's so good live. And then it's like, there's a crispness on an album, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's also like the feeling of like, the band playing all together at the same time. I mean, it must be chaos where the guys in the room are trying to record the fucking stuff, but like
100%, yeah.
But like, it would seem like there's definitely a vibe to that too. And do you guys go track for track? Or
so we overdub everything, like, and we play to a click, and
okay, right.
That's where we're at now. Again, it's not necessarily what we'll do forever.
Sure. It works for you now, so keep going.
It works for us now. The trouble can be, and I actually don't think this has happened with our recordings. However, I can think of some bands and some albums where that's happened, and you can really hear that it just isn't a band. I mean, I'm thinking like a really good example. So an example, I don't know, say like 30 Seconds to Mars.
Sure.
I like listen to those recordings, but like, this does not sound like it was recorded by a band. It really sounds like it was produced by
a robot or something.
A robot, yeah.
AI.
And not to say that that's
GPT.
a bad recording. Like, it's they're great albums.
Sure. Yeah, not slagging them. I mean, they're not going to listen to this. They have no idea there's things that happen.
Yeah. I don't know. Jared's out there listening.
No way. Like, this guy's fucking... Those guys are idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the recording, I don't mean to cut you up, but like, it sounds like you've got a battle, like, decide how you want to record. And it's like, your band just, however you feel, you go and do it.
Yeah.
If it changes in 2 years or next week, or you just do it, right?
Totally, yeah. I mean, we just kind of rolling with.
Yeah, and if you have a hard time finding members, and you're having to maybe get a new drummer once in a while or a new guitar, if things are changing around, maybe it's easier to lay down the tracks, because then it's like,
oh, totally, yeah,
you put it down.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm curious about, we're gonna jump around here, but we talked about I'm curious about the name of your band.
Yeah, of course.
So Introduce Wolves. It took me a while to figure out what it was, and then I Googled it, or I read your press release, and I was like, oh yeah, I hear about things like in Colorado they've introduced wolves, so ecosystems come back.
Yeah.
And like the west coast of Canada, they have all these things about how wolves are like the pinnacle of the ecosystems and stuff, right? And is that like that's kind of where you're the impetus? Is that the impetus? Is that what you say? Impetus of your name?
Sure,
I've used that word a bunch. I have no idea. I've used it like a couple podcasts.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what it's obviously what it's about?
Yeah. That's what we're referring to. Yeah.
And it was just like were you just watching a documentary like, oh fuck, the wolves are fucking changing everything. We should change this.
I think
the band names are always weird to talk about because like people either make up a word or they're like,
And naming a band is one of the hardest things that you can do on this planet.
Yeah, I bet.
Like, it's so hard. Like, thinking of something that's cool but not too cool, funny but not too funny, relevant and like has. Like
it sounds cool and something introducing and they yell it out like it's like you gotta have something that sounds good when it's like yelled out on stage or something.
Exactly, that's it. So between the last band, the covers band that Rory was talking about, and Introduce Wolves, we were umming and ahhing and like brainstorming band names for ages because we knew like we wanted to like go in a different direction from where we were, and we literally had an Excel spreadsheet of band names with
that's how it goes. The
band name, the inspiration, like what it means, and like pros and cons. And Introduce Wolves was one that Rory came up with.
Cool.
And I just kind of dug it because it's like it's got wolves in it, so that's kind of cool. But it's also like a little bit humorous because like the theory of introducing wolves to restore balance to an ecosystem, like our joke is that you can use that theory like in everyday people problems, like halls of parliament, introduce wolves, like they'll restore balance, like shopping malls, introduce wolves.
There should be a lot of wolves in parliament. Fuck, man. There's what's going on there.
Exactly. So yeah, that's kind of like it just hit that right balance for me and for us. And honestly, man, like I kind of hate it still, but like I love it at the same time. Like it's an annoying one as well because when we do get introduced on stage, people are like introduce wolves. Everyone trips over it, or we get called introducing wolves a lot, and like
well, it's one of those things where like there's weird names or stuff. Like no one knew what the word Google was before the word Google. Probably is a weird name. That kind of stuff, right? So over time, it like, starts to sink in.
Dave Grohl hates Foo Fighters, so I think we're fine.
And then so you guys have so one of the other things you're doing here is this push and this initiative to kind of create like a recording management kind of like I don't know how you call it, but like Crabapple music is what you're coming up with here.
Crabapple Hits music.
Crabapple Hits music. Sorry,
it's
explain that
kind
to me.
Of Rory's brainchild, so I will pass the mic over in a sec.
Yeah,
but
cool.
It's kind of like we found that to get gigs or make gigs happen in Whistler, you kind of had to like not be a band. You had to have this separate entity kind of like pushing it, and having that separate entity kind of also gave us a lot of freedom to do other things. Like we could work like it is mostly Rory's child, but like I'm definitely along for the ride. But like we can work with other bands or like put gigs on that don't have Introduce Wolves on.
Oh, cool.
List, that kind of stuff. But I'll pass the mic over to Rory. You can go into it a bit better.
I mean, it's really early days.
Don't turn it off
there. It's really early days with this project. It was kind of something that's come around really, really recently, off the back of us wanting to organize our own shows in Whistler and have control over what the night looks like.
Okay.
So that's how it started. We also feel like it makes us look slightly more important if we have, a management company behind us.
Yeah,
even if it's just us.
Yeah.
Behind it. Yeah. Can we cut that bit out?
Sure. I'm cool. What time is it? Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know. We can't it's funny.
And then, there's a lot of other things, having been doing having done what we've been, I was trying to say here. We've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
And like, even longer than we've been in Whistler. With the experience that we got, it's nice to be able to, if the opportunity comes up, to help other artists as well with their careers, which is, whether it's recording, producing, arranging shows, all those other things that you do when you're in a band, you know,
So kind of like a management, like agency type thing. You're
yeah,
talking about
exactly.
Here? Okay, yeah, cool.
And
Right.
again,
Booking-
like I
booking
say,
company type thing?
it's really early days.
Yeah,
you
sure.
know, there's definitely people that we like that we
Yeah.
would be keen to work with and help out, and
Right.
you know, obviously people still have to do the work themselves. It's not like we're now gonna manage every band in town. That's the last thing I think we want. So hard enough.
Yeah, for sure.
It's enough work.
Well, there's probably bands who are like,
Yeah,
there's
like,
bands out there
yes.
who are just like, you know, like the Hair Farmer or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like Red Chair. They're just like rolling.
Yeah.
They're getting shit going, right?
Totally,
So,
yeah.
I mean, you're not, but there's going to be like, it's cool to have like a collective of like, and if
Yeah.
you're saying like, if gigs are coming on that you're like, you know, helping book, or if you're even if you're not part of that booking, you're like, yeah, you know, you're not even at the gig that gets booked. You're just helping people like even network and stuff too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, so are you hoping to like help like with like recording and like help like just like, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. Again, like, you know, artists, you know, not everyone that writes songs. Like, people can write great songs and then not really know how to play instruments on those recordings.
Right,
And
okay.
you know, that's where we can definitely help out, you know, you know, it's like producing and arranging a little more, and, you know,
Right.
like our contacts, you know, like say like Emily's great engineer, you know, it's like we have something that we think is worth working on, and
Yeah.
someone wants to spend money, it's, you know, hooking them up with, you know.
It's kind of like, I mean, again, like if someone's like new, or they're a new artist, like I don't know what to do. You're like,
Yeah.
well, we've done at least this much. We've been
Yeah.
to studio stuff, and maybe they're not there yet. Be like, hey, like,
Yeah.
you come open for us, or like help a bit. And there's maybe
Yeah.
bands that you can maybe like, hey, we'd love to work with you guys, open for them. I don't know, like
Yeah.
what levels are, right? And you're like,
Totally, yeah.
But I guess like it's probably intimidating to like think about going to a studio. Not maybe you're like you need to play gigs before you go to studio, or like how you.
Yeah.
There's lots of people who are like get discovered just playing their music in their bedroom on YouTube and get blow up, and then they're like,
Yeah.
we don't even know how to talk to like go to and get like who to talk to or how to get produced at all, right?
Oh, totally.
And if
yeah,
you've been
yeah.
there, you can help them. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. I mean, there's so many different paths you can go down. You know, we've done things the way we've done, and like I'm sure that looking back now, if we'd have known better, there's lots of things we would have done totally differently.
Yeah.
Not to say that I would say we've made mistakes, like,
But you do things differently.
just discovery, right? Yeah.
How many gigs like in town? I guess it's more Vancouver where there's like I guess in Vancouver there aren't, or in Whistler there aren't gigs where like there's an opening band. It's like either you're the band for the night and you play, right?
That is how things normally run.
Yeah.
However, yeah, so with the first night that we are putting on,
Yeah.
we are going to have at least 3, hopefully 4
Yeah.
bands play.
Cool.
So it's not going to just be Introduce Wolves. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because like in Vancouver, you go down there, you're opening or you're middle act or you're headline, whatever it is, and that's like it's usually like somebody books you and we're going to slot you into this time slot.
Yeah.
Your book. So hopefully is your plan to like say, yeah, we're gonna go to Après. It's at whatever. We'll get that in a
Yeah.
bit, but we're gonna bring you guys a full night.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
like
cool.
full night of entertainment.
Right. Sweet.
And yeah, I can tell you that playing music for 3 hours a night sucks.
It's tough,
Like
right?
when
Yeah.
you do it yourself.
Yeah.
It's so I go home miserable.
Would you guys? Don't they give you free drinks while you're there and you get free beers?
Oh yeah, you get free. It's the last thing you want.
How often do you walk out of like blackout? You can't, right? You gotta play.
We're
right?
always driving because we got to like load in and load out. Like
you don't
we
need roadies.
We got to get. Yeah, we need some fucking roadies, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Can I swear? Sorry.
No, it doesn't matter to me. What do you guys use for? You got your own personal vehicles? You got a couple of Honda
So-
Civics and stuff, or what? Drums in the trunk.
Yeah, e-bike. I am. Rory hasn't had a car for a number of years, so it's basically been the Liam mobile.
Oh, sweet, nice,
Nice
cool.
little hatchback with absolutely everything in it.
Couple of trips. Back and
Generally,
forth.
we can do it in one trip. We're
Yeah.
generally pretty good at that. But
Where-
yeah, just classic Whistler stuff.
Where have you guys played in Vancouver? What gigs have you guys done? Like, what are those?
We've played a few at the Railway Beer and Stage Cafe, Stage and Beer Cafe.
Is that on Railway Street down there in like Gastown? Like, off,
God, I think it's on Dunsmuir.
Oh, okay, right, okay. Yeah.
But that's kind of closed down and it's now reopened, I think, with different management. Yeah, it's going again now, but
The Railway. I think I've been there. It's like kind of like it's
upstairs.
old, right? It's super old. Yeah,
apparently
it's like,
Nirvana played there back in the day.
I played darts there once.
Nice.
I was on a date.
They
Didn't
got-
go very well. But I played darts there once.
That's all right. At least you could have gotten some of the cheap beers.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like maybe I'm wrong. It's kind of like an L shape. It's like a
Yeah.
old
that's
like red inside like cup. I think I know it's upstairs. It's kind of like it's
yeah,
old. It's
yeah.
kind of beat
That's
up
the one.
looking, right?
Heaps of beers on tap as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it looks like they have that like
Cheapest beers.
that stage at the end, and it's like at the far end of it.
That's
yeah,
the one. Yeah,
that's a cool spot, man.
Along
That's
with the railway.
those are the kind of gigs that I think are like. That's the kind of cool place to play.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And then sometimes they have like have good acoustics. Like it might not be like
Great acoustics.
Yeah,
Yeah. It
right.
sounds awesome in there.
right
I think all that old wood just like.
absorbs it.
Yeah.
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 Saturated with good music.
Well, like I would guess like those places like kind of deadens the sound and like kind of packed. And when it's busier, there's probably better sound. And if it's like
Yeah,
one of those like
probably.
newer places that got a big open air, probably the sound gets lost and sounds all fucked up. I guess, right? I don't even know. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, a little bit for sure. It can also go the other way when like we play Tapley's and there's a sea of people in front of us.
Oh, they're
The
right
people-
here in front of you. when you're
Yeah,
playing.
so
yeah.
they can't hear anything, but also the people at the back of the room can't hear anything because all the people at the front are kind of like blocking the sound from traveling that far back.
And then people are trying to talk, so they talk louder to hear themselves talking. It's
Exactly,
louder and louder,
yeah.
And you guys turn the amps up, and they start talking louder. Turn the
Yeah,
amps up,
that's
start
it.
talking
And then we
louder.
get told to turn it down.
Yeah. I think, I mean, there's so many, and it's cool because there are cool spots in this town for sure. But I'm curious about those old places you go, and like in Vancouver, because some places are shutting down, right? Like,
Yeah, COVID killed quite a few
Yeah.
good venues in the city. Like, there's definitely a good scene still
Sure.
there and building up again.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, eh? And it's probably tons of bands trying to get a spot. It's too probably tough. Like
Oh,
that.
there's like
Like
30
1,000.
bands to every venue
Yeah, I'm sure. And then they have
at least.
and they have like the house bands who play a lot there somewhere. Someone gets 30 in
Exactly.
there and stuff.
And then
Right.
there's us from out of town coming down. Like,
Let us play.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, we've got the hot accents as well. That helps.
it does help.
Yeah.
It does, eh? Exotic.
The Roxy actually is the other one that we play a lot, and that's
cool.
really good.
Right. That's on Granville, right?
On Granville,
Yeah.
the Dirty Roxy. I mean, the beautiful Roxy.
Whatever. They're not listening either.
It's always a
Just joking.
time. It's
Yeah.
always a time in the Roxy. Like,
Yeah, right.
you never know who's going to be there. Sometimes it's no one.
I've never even been in the Roxy. Oh wait, I've never been in the Roxy. I don't think.
Like,
Have I been in the Roxy? I don't know.
You are missing out. For
I've walked
sure.
by it a bunch.
Come-
I go to like comedy shows a lot, like in like the Vogue stuff and on this.
yeah,
everything
yeah.
else, but yeah.
You should come down on April 19th. We're playing.
Oh
We'll
really?
Be there, yeah.
Oh,
April
cool.
19th.
Sweet.
Us and a couple of other bands.
Right.
One band from Fernie, Mount Rushka, actually. They're
Oh, cool.
pretty dope.
Do you
Listen
guys
to
stay
them
down there?
live.
Then you get. I guess it's like you just cruise back up here after, depending
Man, normally we cruise back up. We'd love to be
on. I
able
guess
to
they don't
stay the
pay
night
enough to
somewhere.
stay down there for the night. I guess,
No,
right?
they don't pay us enough for the gas to get down there at all, to be honest. But
Oh wow.
that's
I mean,
that's
exposure, bro.
Showbiz,
it's
yeah,
exposure, bro.
yeah. That's
I
it.
think about like that. I'm like, it's funny because like I don't know a lot of bands that play up here. I know a few of them. And I don't know how much they travel. But I never. You always hear about the glamorous side of like you hear like big bands. Oh, back there we'd hit the road and travel for months, right? But you never really think about people who are just starting out, like especially in this town. Like,
it's a grind.
I mean, my take on this is that as a band, like to get good at playing shows, you got to go play a lot of shows,
Everywhere,
and
yeah.
like that's the thing. Like you do have to earn your stripes when you're starting out, and
Sure.
and you know, as much as we complain about not being paid for playing shows and yada yada yada,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like you starting out as a hobbyist,
yeah, right.
and if your band isn't making a venue money, they're not going to pay you, right?
Sure.
So when we go to the Roxy, for example, if 100 people show up to watch us play, like, yeah, we're going to get paid.
Right.
But we have to make that happen.
Yeah, you got to like promote the show and get people in the door, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be challenge, you know, like for some people that's really frustrating, and like I don't see why you would ever do that. Why would you ever not play for money? Yeah, blah blah blah, you know. And a lot of people in covers bands, you know, like whether it's in Whistler or people, you know, I grew up around,
Yeah.
like that was their attitude. But I always grew up with the attitude of, like, well, I didn't come here to just play covers, and you know, not to
Right.
not saying there's anything wrong with that, but that's just not what I wanted to do.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was always playing originals, and that's just a part of it. When you're starting out and no one knows your music,
Yeah.
you've got to figure that out. Yeah.
Have you seen the Twisted Sister documentary on Netflix? Or is it Netflix or is it Amazon Prime?
No.
You know what Twisted
I
Sister
haven't.
is?
I do know
Yeah,
who Twisted
okay,
is.
so
Yeah,
you
yeah,
should
yeah,
have,
yeah.
So Twisted Sister, the whole thing, they were like, they were just a cover band like in New York, and they play
Yeah.
all these famous venues, and
Yeah.
they got so fucking big in that area they couldn't actually leave because no one knew who they were, but they played covers and they were just
Yeah.
they had
Yeah.
like crazy fans.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
would play these covers all the time. They started playing their own music, and then they grew, and they couldn't get a record deal, but they would like sell out. They talk about how they in that area they were making the most money of any band in that area. They play every venue. They just do circles of it, right?
Yeah.
And they would make the most money just playing covers, but they couldn't get a record deal outside of that
wow,
area.
Yeah. I mean, and it happens, yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
right.
Yeah.
You can at cover bands, you can make a bunch of cash, right?
Oh, you can, you know, we've, again, like going back to our covers career,
you kind of need to to get it going, right?
And we still do to play, you know.
Yeah, right.
We make money, you know, we still play cover shows, and,
Yeah.
you know, that's how we make a lot of our cash for recording.
Sure.
But yeah, we used to go up and play at the Pemho in Pemby, and they'd
You
put us up for the night there.
Yeah, that's it.
It's great.
Course, yeah.
Please come back.
Yeah, I think that's like, I don't know about music, but I feel like the covers is like you play a bunch of covers, throw some of your own songs in, and after time, those covers, you just play less and less covers, right? Kind of, and then you just...
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it starts. I mean,
Right.
that's when the Beatles did it, right? So
Yeah,
that's kind of how we did it, you know? Yeah,
Yeah.
We started with 2 original songs at the end of our Deadly Lethal Ninja Assassin career.
Is that nerve-wracking to start, like, when you play, like, your own music, when you play covers, and, hey, guys, we're going to do our own original now, and the crowd obviously goes, okay. Like, I'm not saying
Time to go
it,
to the toilet.
like, the crowd's like, all right, time to go to the washroom and get a beer kind of
Yeah.
thing, right? That must be, like, a tough transition.
I think, yes, but it's also really exciting.
Sure, yeah, of course.
And the applause that you hear at the end of playing If You Want Originals feels so much louder just
Right.
because it's your song. There's something so satisfying about it.
Yeah.
Like, even if less people are clapping, the fact that anyone's clapping is like,
Right.
It's really quite the feeling.
Especially with, like, now there's so much music out there and so many ways to get music.
Yeah.
And there's almost like clutter, I guess, right? Out there. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
say, yeah. So, like, but the cool thing about a small town is you play a lot and you get, like, a local following. You get, like, a few covers people love, a few originals people love. And, like, oh, yeah, play that song. It's like, kind of, you can get that feedback pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you go to, like, a venue in Vancouver, you play your covers, you never go back there for a while, or your originals go back there, and then the people that come back aren't even the same.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
You'll occasionally pick up someone who's like, wow, I really like your band. Like,
Yeah.
let me know when your next
Sure,
come down.
yeah.
And
I mean, that's
you
always
will
why
see
you
them
do it.
again. And again, that's like such a nice feeling.
Yeah.
And it does happen.
Right.
But yeah, in Whistler, especially, you know, we know a lot of people here.
And you got tourists who love to hear, like, I would walk 5, and like, and you're like, and tourists like love those certain songs, right? And they're like,
yeah,
you know, like if you go to the Dublin and someone
it's
plays
just tourists, to be honest.
Yeah, but
it's
like
all of us when we've got a few beers.
Yeah, for sure. But there's those classic songs that people love to hear at a bar, and it's almost like, I don't want to fucking play this.
It's pub rock,
but I'm gonna play it because everyone's gonna get jazzed up, and it's gonna make get them pumped. You come out of the gate with one of those, I guess. But yeah, I would. It would be very satisfying to get an originals out there and have people like stoked on them for sure. Obviously, right? I mean, it's the whole point.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. But I could see how in Vancouver it's a little bit tougher. I mean, it's bigger audiences at some point, but hard to get a reaction, I guess.
Yes. I think the hard thing, you know, is like it's easy-ish. No, it's not easy, but it's a lot easier for us in Whistler to get the word out that we're playing.
Sure.
You know, we the word circulates amongst our friends, and they tell their friends, and you know, it kind of goes that way. We have, you know, we will work for big-ish companies where there's a bunch of again, you know, like a good network of people.
You tell your host, everybody you work with, hey, we're going to be here tonight.
Yeah.
And even if 10 people go or 20 people go.
That's it, right?
Venues aren't that big unless you kind of feel like, I don't know, I guess the GLC holds a lot of people, but like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
you
like,
know, we're looking to get 250 people to one act show.
Yeah. So what's the Apres? What's their capacity there?
240 people.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
And how much do they put on you to find the people? Like, do they?
I would say all of it. Actually, they've actually been really
I bet they're
supportive.
Cool. I mean, they want to have business.
Yeah, and everyone I've spoken to at Gibbons has said, hey, you know, make us an admin of your event. We're going to help you.
Oh, cool. That's great.
So,
and they're super supporting of local people for sure, right? They want it to work.
Yeah, and like I went in with it, like honestly, not being 100% sure what the experience would be like. You know, we've played at plenty of Gibbons spots in the past. I'll say plenty. Played at Tapley's. Oh God, yeah.
Oh, that place is no longer, right? It's gonna be changed like an oyster bar or something.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it got sold. They're gonna anyway.
Wow.
Sorry.
There you go.
One less venue.
And yeah, I don't know. Like maybe they just saw the we come in with a bit of a plan and some passion for what we're doing.
I mean, rolling up with the you look
Yeah.
professional. You got your shit together. You're like, hey, it's what we're gonna do.
Yeah,
And you're like,
yeah.
here's how we want to build it. People can see your ambition at least.
You've got a plan. You're not just coming in like, hey, we want to play a gig. Put us on. You tell 250 people to show up.
What if it works? And then how many venues they have in town? Like they have how many? I'm sure there's live music at Black's once in a while, right?
Yeah,
Smaller.
every now and then.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then they do live music it's mostly DJs at Longhorn, I would imagine, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Which is bumping.
Yeah.
And then what else do they own? They have Chapley's, Scarfs,
Moe's, Bill's.
Yeah. How do you guys find between a lot of DJs get booked in town?
Oh yeah.
And that's over the years that's taken up a lot of space because it's you pay one guy.
Of course, yeah.
Pay one guy to come in and do that. So that's that's competition, right? It's
oh yeah, it's
open
war.
up yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, I'd say most of our songs are about that. It's all in the lyrics. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So how do you guys? Would you guys ever I don't know? Is it I feel like the DJs are a lot of big DJs come to town.
Yeah.
A lot of big bands come to town. Not as it's not as high. Some you have that some of these bigger DJs come. Maybe they're in Vancouver and they just come up for the night. And they do a gig, right? Yeah. I mean, and that takes up space.
It does, and you know what?
It's cool. I mean,
there's nothing wrong with it at all. Yeah,
no, those good shows for sure.
Sorry, DJs. If you listen to the lyrics in the Introduce Walls songs, it's just that we're bitter. It's not that we hate you. We love you.
Yeah.
That I love nothing more than going underground and dancing to DJ
getting
music.
Weird. Yeah, getting weird. Yeah, I just think but it's cool. It's a good venue or it's a good connection because they have so many venues.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you guys have two other bands coming with. So we got a bit more time here, but you guys are doing the show on May 5th.
Yeah.
At Apres.
Yeah.
And you've got our Sleep Circle and Last Reminiscent Heroes.
Yeah. You got it.
So they're opening for you guys. Are you opening?
Yeah. I guess they are.
Yeah.
They're both way better than us too.
Yeah. Cool. Whatever. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, if Sleep Circle don't get drunk, they'll be better than us.
Have they been? Are they from Vancouver? Are they from around here?
So yeah, Sleep Circle are from Vancouver, and they're probably our favorite Vancouver band. I would say. We've played with them twice before.
Okay, cool.
Both times in Squamish, and
Yep.
really great band.
Sweet, cool.
Actually kind of similar style to ours.
Okay.
The alternative rock thing with a little bit of metal influence, a little bit of all the other things.
Yeah.
But they're not super extreme.
Right.
Cool. As a band, as musicians, as people. Yeah.
I guess you guys got it, and then you have Last Reminiscent Circle Heroes. Sorry, the same kind of thing.
So they're more of a punk band.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Really great bands. We're actually going to go watch them tonight.
Oh, cool.
So
where are they playing in Vancouver?
So that's in Squamish.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we're going to go watch Squamish Punk Night tonight.
Is that at Sunny Chiba's?
It's at Peckinpah Barbecue.
Oh, okay,
tonight.
cool. Yeah, sweet, nice.
Last Reminiscent Heroes, ARF, AHRF, and Big City Germs.
Cool.
And I can't remember.
I saw
the Squonks in the Subterranean.
Yeah, I saw this guy named Phil Tifo. Yeah. I saw him talking about that on Facebook. He was promoting the show. Yeah. He plays in a punk band with who's the French guy that he talks to?
He plays in the Subterranean.
He does,
and the Squonks.
Yeah. Who's the other dude that plays
the
with
house
him?
bands?
There's another French photographer down there, that Ollie Gagnon. You know him too? I think he plays in that band maybe too. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm not familiar with that.
Can't say.
But
Yeah. Phil's the guy.
Yeah.
But
Phil's the man. He's old school photographer from Whistler. He's been around forever, man.
Yeah, right.
Been that guy for a long time. Yeah, he's a
But
good dude.
Last Reminiscent Heroes are fucking sick.
What about
punk band.
Party Snake? Have you guys ever heard of those guys before? They're like a metal band. I think they're from Squamish.
Party Snake.
I think that's who Phil Gagnon plays for, or I think that's his name anyway.
That's a sick band name.
They play it. Sunny Chiba's has shows. Once in a while.
Sunny Chiba's is a pretty good venue.
Taco Bell. We'll talk about. Have you guys ever played there?
No.
It's on the list. It's one of my jobs for tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah. We've been talking to him. We're trying to line
that
something
place.
up.
It'd be a cool place. I don't know where they put the band, but because those tables
just
are
in the corner, man.
Yeah, because all those tables are stuck in the ground. You can't move sitting there.
Yeah. But they start a pit somehow anyway. It's
that place
rad.
is. It's good. That's sweet.
Yeah. Thanks to Aaron.
Yeah. And then so is this your first, this May 5th show at Apres is kind of your first launch of this idea you have for Crabapple and just your first thing of like booking the whole show as a group to come in?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of the big one.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is. It kind of feels like the start of the next, phase of our band and our musical careers.
Yeah.
It feels like a really special event for us.
Cool.
And just live music in Whistler in general.
Yeah, sweet.
We're trying to bring it back,
Like kind of like concert style, not just like playing a pub type thing.
100%, and I feel like we've not had that. I mean, I don't think we've ever had it since I've been in Whistler. I've been to a couple of shows. A couple of touring bands have come through and done that kind of thing, but it's like twice a year, maybe.
Right. It's very rare. There's more than one band playing at a time.
Yeah, sure. And again, I think
in my experience, anyway.
I mean, I know that we don't have 3 hours worth of original material. I guess it's definitely more of a covers band thing.
If people get drunk enough, they might not know. You could just play the songs twice. They wouldn't know if you get drunk enough.
Yeah, we've done it. Yeah.
You guys ever have like any like a nightmare show where you had to run from the venue or like had to like?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a few that had to run from the venue when I was growing up in England. But I mean,
the Norman Rudy's show.
Yeah, we played like one song at Norman Rudy's, and they're like, "Yo, you guys are too loud." And we're like, "Okay." I was like, "Did you?" Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. We don't want to bag them or anything.
No,
like, it's just a funny story now.
Yeah.
Like we literally sent them the set list beforehand, and like I don't know if you've ever been in Norman Rudy's.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of like almost like a restaurant kind of vibe.
It is a restaurant, not almost. It is a restaurant.
Yeah, there you go. So they
have a cool bar. That's a cool spot. Yeah, for sure.
They booked us from like 7 p.m. for like 3 hours. So like kind of dinner time. Yeah. So there's literally families in there eating, and like we kind of like tuned our set list to be a little bit more like mellow than what we'd normally do. Like we played like a Radiohead song, like a Weezer song, and yeah, literally one song in, the manager runs over, is like, "Yeah, you guys gonna have to turn down." Like we had like a live acoustic drum kit and everything. We're like, "Oh, okay." Like,
yeah, acoustic drum kit.
Turned it down. Yeah, you can't turn that down that much. But second song, he's like, "Yeah, like you still got to turn it down." We're like literally like playing as quietly as we can, and then play one more song. Yeah. And he's like, "Yeah, I've never had to do this before, but like, you guys are gonna have to." Like,
did you guys get paid?
We got paid.
Nice.
Got a free meal. Yeah, I got pissed on the bar tab. It was fucking
nice.
Great.
That's cool.
Good times.
And then we got to listen to all the music we were going to play through the speakers anyway. So
nice. Yeah, because you can't. At some point, like I was saying earlier, we were talking about like loudness stuff. You can't. If you can't play if you're playing rock music or whatever it is, you got to play at a certain level.
Yeah.
Or sounds like you're not playing music. You might as well just ditch the guitars and everything else, right?
Yeah.
That sounds funny. Anything. I mean, that must have been shitty to be that manager.
Oh yeah, I feel he was really nice about it.
That's
like
funny.
He was.
You ever got? I almost said something really rude there. Have you ever gotten stiffed on your pay? You ever had to like go after somebody for or check bounce?
Or like.
You have to say
other than finding out that we were getting paid less than the sound guy was getting paid, but that was mostly just because no one showed up to the gig. Like, but we've never felt like someone did the dodgy on us.
Right.
Like, too bad. Anyway.
Not even when I was like
it's coming
kid playing. No,
it's coming.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't fuck with us. We'll introduce wolves.
Yeah, I mean you could introduce some trouble at the end of the day. Yeah, that's cool. So what else? I had some other stuff I wanted to ask you about here. Yeah, so sorry, just for this Crabapple Hits, Crabapple project here.
Yeah.
Are you like actively seeking? Like, are you like gonna put a call up like, hey, we're looking for? Is it gonna be like kind of organically? Or are you kind of gonna try to find like a network and try to like, hey, once you get to a point where you're ready to go?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, not straight away. Like, I mean, right now our focus is to record, introduce wolf stuff.
Sure, right.
And that in itself is a lot of work.
Right.
I would say our next thing is, is focusing really on the live thing. So we're organizing this show that we're playing in May.
Yeah.
To organize similar shows, but for other bands. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
I'd say that's probably
down the road at some point.
Then I think that's kind of the next thing we'll work on.
Mm-hmm. But right now, it's you're pretty much focused on this band, and then this other stuff's kind of like as it grows, you build as you go.
And I think, like if I'm gonna say that I think whatever comes from there will come quite naturally.
Sure.
I think we'll figure out who we get on. We'll figure out like who likes our sound and is like, hey, I want to sound like that, or who sees what we're doing, like, hey, I could be doing that. How do I do that? I think it will come somewhat naturally. I definitely. I mean, I don't even know if I have the time and energy to go around looking for other artists.
That's what I was waiting to say. Is like, it sounds like if you're trying to book your own, like, it sounds like you're going to try to help people book shows. But you got to book your own fucking shows. So then, where are you going to get the time to do that, right?
Yeah. But we do.
It's cool though.
I think that a big part of it for us is going to see other bands and going to other shows and picking up on who else is playing, who else wants to play.
Right.
Not everyone wants to book a show through us dudes, like
sure,
like,
I mean, people doing their own thing too. It's
totally,
right. Yeah, for sure.
Other people will, and it, like I say, it's kind of like whoever it works for, like the biggest thing is that we get to support the bands that we like, the musicians that we like, and
cool,
the people that we like, and there's more live music in Whistler. Yeah,
I think that's cool. I think the idea of having a few bands at once is cool, because otherwise it's like, I mean, it's great. It's great to see, like, a guy play a band or a solo musician play all the time or all night, but it's cool to have like a night of it. Do you guys have plans to hit the road, travel across Canada or something like that? What are you guys trying to book?
Always.
Yeah.
When
do you think you're gonna try and do that? Or you just kind of like I guess you want to build an audience here first and just kind of some
again, like the biggest thing,
money too, I guess, and time.
Yeah, time and money. I mean, touring's not cheap, and definitely.
Like, I feel like I like renting a U-Haul, everybody gets in the back and like
GMC Safari with a rooftop tent.
Yeah. That's cool.
I think just to kind of gradually just spread out, like where we're playing. I mean, I feel like, again, like hopefully this is the start of us being able to play the kind of shows we want to play in Whistler, which we've been chasing for years. I feel like we've got great venues and good contacts in Vancouver, and like we're expanding that all the time. We're always meeting new people in Vancouver, and there's always new venues, and
for sure,
which is great. Sussing out Squamish, is like one of the next things. Really trying to figure out like where can we play in Squamish?
Yeah, because I mean, what venues? There's the Burrowing Owl. Is that what else? There's
I know what you mean. It's kind of Canadian Tire,
isn't it? No, there's one. Isn't the Burrowing Owl or something like that? Right, it's like downtown, behind somewhere by the bowling alley or something like that.
I mean, we've played at 1.5 Ave, and then whatever it's called now. I want to say the Chieftain or the Goat, but it's called something else now. The Cleveland Tavern.
Right.
There's Peckinpah now, and then Sunny Chibas. And then there's the Bag, which I don't know too much about, but Shady Tree.
They're back open again, right? Because it was closed for a while. Somebody bought it.
Yeah.
Is it open now?
Apparently they're doing music again.
That'd be a cool place to play, I think. It's like kind of a cool, like a weird, like it's all separated, but it'd be cool to throw a big raging party there.
It'd be rad, eh?
Yeah.
But so I think, cracking Squamish. I mean, I'm just really waiting for the PEMHO to reopen.
What do you mean reopen?
So, you know the PEMHO, pretty well,
it's closed?
Oh, yeah, it's been closed since, they closed over COVID. And
hasn't got back open yet?
But apparently it is coming.
Oh, cool.
I mean, maybe they're all reopened, but I think they've started doing bands yet, regardless.
Right.
But that's always a great time. But I think, gradually spreading a little further, trying to get to the Sunshine Coast or, like Nanaimo, like some spots on the island, maybe to Kamloops.
Yeah.
Just getting a little further. I
guess you got to make steps, right? Yeah.
All the places that we can bring our mountain bikes to.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, you guys get out much? You guys mountain bike much at all? I guess not right now, but yeah.
I mean, I went out twice last week, so.
Squamish? Hemby? Yeah. How's it up there?
Lower down's good to go.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Like it's almost dusty now.
Oh no, yeah, I guess right.
Yeah. Yeah, mountain bikes is kind of like how Rory and I became friends in the first place. Right. That's like, but for music. Still, we'd rather ride bikes together
than
play music together, generally.
Mountain bike is fun as shit. I love it. It's good.
Fuck yeah. Like, skiing is cool, but mountain biking just shits all over it.
Yeah, I haven't skied much this year. Like, I went out, it's been a pretty good year. My days are like half what they usually are. And I've had tons of time to go. I haven't had a ton of time. I've had so much time to go, and I haven't. It's weird. I've been like...
Yeah, skiing's funny like that.
Yeah, mountain biking. I'm like, I had a couple of buddies go to Squamish. I didn't get a chance to go, but I'm just kind of just waiting to drive down there at some point.
Yeah, man. It's the sun's out.
I heard it's good to go down there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just went for like a Valley Trail pedal because I hadn't been in so long. I just like, let's go pedal the village and back just for something to do.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's boring, man. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
but I mean, I just want. It was good fun to just get and ride and like whatever. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean, trying to balance a career and mountain bike and all the sports stuff too, right?
Oh, throw a being in a band in there.
That's what I mean. Yeah, like
Yeah.
trying to grow something. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
At least you guys play at night when you can't mountain bike at night. I mean, you can if you have lights, but you should play it after hours. Yeah.
Yeah. We all have always joked that we just like are unable to not have like packed full schedules. Like it's not just like we don't have much free time. We have no free time.
Right.
Because we're always biking or skiing or playing in a band or working.
How often do you guys practice get your band together, jam?
We try to do at least once a week.
Okay.
It's way easier in the summer. Like as we were talking about before, we have that warehouse that we can play in. But
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, once a week is the goal.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less.
Right.
Like generally we find like if we've got a gig coming up, we'll play it a few times.
For sure,
But,
yeah. Get it
yeah.
warm up. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Go for it, bro.
Yeah. See, well, we can wrap it up too, actually. So,
Yeah.
when you get back, we'll just wrap it up. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. The
Lights on the outside the door here, just on the left. Yeah. Takes a while to flicker on. You have a seizure in there by the time it flips on. Yeah, I mean, at time is like I'm on the opposite schedule. I have tons of time. I just haven't been out biking, but I should get on my guitar more too. I just, when you like, I don't play enough, so when I get back, I'm like, I suck, because I just don't play.
You just got.
And
you have
it's
to
so
keep
hard to play.
The
It's like
upkeep of like keeping those skills
yeah.
honed.
I mean, I got 3 guitars here and an amp that hasn't been turned on probably since like the late 90s. And I bought that. I got that. That's a Roland. I bought that amp in like late 90s.
Nice.
And it was a mini stack. I didn't buy the bottom half, but
Right,
it's not a tube. It's like they call it Tube Logic, so it's just like a regular amp.
Okay. Yeah.
But somewhere along the line it cracked. The side, somebody sat on the thing and it cracked.
Oh no.
And I can't. It's too loud to play in here.
Oh,
like,
I have the same problem in my apartment.
Yeah.
Like I turned my bass amp on once,
Yeah.
played for 30 seconds at like 10% volume, and got a knock on the door from my neighbor.
The thing is, like, that's what I was saying earlier. When you have an amp, you want to almost like play it as loud as you can to get the good sound of it. So
Exactly.
it's almost better to
Yeah.
get a tiny amp and crank it
Yeah.
than a big amp and turn it down, right?
Like the only time that I feel like I actually like play my amp turned all the way up is at a gig.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure. Yeah.
The only time I actually like get a feel for what my bass amp sounds like is at a gig.
Yeah,
Like, it's-
right.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough practicing, man.
Modern living.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, guys. Everything work out okay in there, buddy?
You find it?
Yeah,
had a great experience.
Yeah,
Thank you.
nice, sweet,
Yeah.
good, yeah, sweet. Yeah. Well, Rory, Liam, thanks for coming by, man. We're stoked.
Thank
I'm
you,
so you guys
man.
are here.
Thanks for having us.
So, introducing wolves. Introduce wolves.
Oh, you did the thing.
Introduce wolves.
That's it.
I fucked it up. I'll edit that
That's all
out.
good.
Maybe.
Nah, it's funny. Keep it in.
So you guys got cool shit going on. You're gonna be playing at Apres May 5th.
That's it.
That's
Yeah,
your
man.
big gig. And you playing before that anywhere? Before that, around town, I guess. You got
Yeah,
big
so we're
gigs?
playing. We're playing. I don't know. This is probably going to come out a little bit later than that, but we're playing April 1st at RMU, April 19th at
Okay.
the Roxy in
Okay.
Vancouver, and then that's it. Now between.
So yeah, probably come out
between
after
here
that. I
and
can
May
clip
5th.
this, maybe send it out. But yeah,
Yeah.
this will probably come out like if you closer to your probably release if you want to that, because if it goes too soon.
Yeah,
But
totally.
yeah, what do you have dates like in late April and early May lined up yet before this one that you know of that you can think of?
Nothing really. We've got some studio time booked at
Okay,
the end of April,
cool.
but
So go see him in the studio. Go
yeah,
jam,
yeah.
knock on the front
Come by Rain City Recorders. Knock
Yeah.
on the door. We'll let you in.
Yeah, shout out Rain City Recorders.
Yeah, bring us food and beer.
So this show on May 5th, where do you get tickets? How do you get in? What's the deal?
So if you head on Facebook, go to the Facebook event. There is a ticket link. It's all
Event for what? The Apres
for
or for you
Apres
guys?
gig.
Okay,
Sorry, it's
yeah.
all sold through Gibbons. They're
Okay.
handling that side of things. Thank
Cool.
God, because we have no idea how.
Yeah, sweet.
They're $15 online or $20
cool.
on the door on the
Sweet.
night. So
Any drink specials?
I'm sure there'll be drink
Probably.
specials. It's Apres.
5 for 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Nice. Yeah, go get blackout and watch these guys
Yeah,
play.
spend all your money at the bar.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Anything else to add? Oh,
Instagram, we are just Introduce Wolves
Yeah.
and Introduce Wolves across all the platforms,
Okay.
streaming and
Cool.
socials.
Sweet.
No other business took the name. It's great.
Yeah, weird that. Yeah, we got.
That's
the,
good though. It's good marketing. No one else. Yeah,
that's
for
it.
sure.
We got the EP that we're recording as well, plus
Yeah.
the little sneaky Britney single. So keep
That's
an
you
ear,
can find that all on Spotify and
yep,
yeah,
keep
right.
an ear and an eye out.
Cool.
Yeah, you can listen to all our our first 2 EPs on Spotify.
Yeah, I've saw both. Yeah, for sure.
Everything else.
Yeah.
Bandcamp.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Make some money there. Cool.
And yeah, I think the EP we're working on now will probably come out sometime in the fall or later in the year.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be done by then.
Dope.
Process.
Okay, boys. Well, thanks, man. I'm stoked. For sure. Gonna come see you guys. Yeah.
We'll
have you on again. Hopefully.
Great.
I'm around for your show, so I'll come check it out. All right. Thanks, guys.